Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning, at least for me right now it is anyway. I wanted to make what I think will turn into several videos about how to do the Excel portion of the writing project. And so this first video right here is going to be about the collection of data. And then the second video will be about, at least my second planned video anyway, will be about refinement and what to do with missing data. And then finally my third video will be how to actually submit this to D2L and make sure that it's in there and all that good stuff, that you've completed this portion of the project. So feel free to watch this video at double speed or 1.5 speed, or feel free to skip around or go to the other videos or whatnot once they're made. But anyway, this video again I want to talk about collecting the data. So here we are on the Math 101 webpage. And I'm going to go down, right here is where we have the Excel file link. So if you go ahead and click that, you should download a copy of this Excel file. And then Excel's thinking about things, and there we go. So enable editing. Okay, so right before the lab 4, right, you chose 5 metrics. Right, and you can go ahead and put those 5 metrics in up here, and then you also chose some weights. So this is where we're going to be starting. Those are not locked in stone. You can change those if need be, but those are going to be the 5 that probably you're starting off with. And then we want to collect data about those 5 metrics for these countries right here. The first thing that I noticed that I think maybe will be an improvement for future semesters or whatnot is that these are not in alphabetical order. So I want to go ahead and just highlight these. And if you go to the Data tab here, and we click Sort, and I think I don't even have to touch any of this, I'm just going to hit OK. And you can see this sorts them in alphabetical order, and this just makes it a little easier for me, because we're going to be looking at all of these spreadsheets of data, and then we can see what exactly they have and if they're missing anything or whatnot. So anyway, I think this is a good place to start. Let's go back over here. And now we need to go to one of those websites, right, that actually have all of the data, right? And so, okay, if you forgot this, right, we can go, there's a lot of information, in fact, in this Lecture 4 stuff, right? So, for instance, it reiterates the due dates for these things, all that good stuff. But down here, right, we talked a lot about metrics and for lots of different things, some vocab words. There it was, right? So here was some more key vocabs, right? If you're still a little hesitant about what a metric is, what are absolute variables, relative variables, all that good stuff, you can reread there. And then, okay, pick metrics and measure happiness. So either Gapminder or the CIA World Factbook. I've been using Gapminder quite a bit recently, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. But right, theoretically, from one of these two sites, you went ahead and you chose your metrics already. So you need to go to that site. So if you use the CIA World Factbook, or if you found some other website that you really liked, make sure to go to the place where you actually have your metrics. Alright, so for me, I'm going to show you 2 of my metrics anyway. So one of them was the GDP. And so if I go ahead and I do this Control F and I do GDP, you can actually see GDP comes up 35 different times. I had a very specific one in mind. Let's see if I can't find it. Here's a lot of them that start with GDP. Yeah, so it was GDP per capita, right? So it kind of takes in per person right here. So that one's going to be a relative measure, a relative metric there. So I thought that one was going to be a good one. So I'm going to go ahead and get this data right here. So if you click that Excel file, you get a download, which I'll go ahead and pull up. And you can see kind of it elaborates a little bit more. So this, it's fixed at the 2000 US dollar, right? So, and it's supposed to account for inflation and all that sort of stuff. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to get these things side by side. So I guess, right, I'm starting with my GDP per capita. Sort of deal, and let's go ahead. I've decided I'm going to show you 2 here, so, and you'll have of course 5, so you'll have a bit more than this. But remember, these weights need to add up to 100%, so I'm going to do 0.75 here. I think that the GDP per capita, right, this is going to be very important, and because I'm only doing 2, I'm going to make this 25%. Right, so this is going to be working hours per week, right? Because I'm thinking that if you have to work fewer hours, you're probably happier. I don't know. So anyway, I think these are going to be my 2. All right, the first one, Argentine. It's probably supposed to be Argentina. So we go down this list, AR Argentina, and you can see that there's going to be lots and lots of data here going back to the 1960s. I think a good way to go with this is to go ahead and get like the most recent, right? So it looks like the most recent here is in 2011. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, and I'm going to put it in my metric 2 unrefined, right? So we will have a video talking about the refinement process, all that good stuff. And that's one down. So now we have to go ahead and find, let's see, Bangladesh. Bangladesh. All right. So all the way over again, you can see that this is going to be a bit tedious. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe speed it up using the powers of video editing. All right, and there we go. We were able to find actually all of them here in this spreadsheet. Which won't always happen, right? And they didn't all come from 2011, right? They didn't all have this last known year. And this is important to just kind of realize that I would always choose the latest year that data was available, but they're not maybe always going to be the same. And you can certainly talk about that when it actually comes to this writing portion of it, where you have to essentially make a little mini article, right, that you can talk about some of the limitations of this data is that, well, we don't have up-to-date data for everyone. All right, so going back, right, I had one more thing. It was like the working hours or something like this. I remember finding this one and thinking it was fun. So, okay, going down here, working hours per week, International Labor Organization. Okay, so let's go ahead and I want to download the data for this. And I'll go ahead and throw it in over there. And let's see, I need this one here. And you can see that this spreadsheet's quite nice, right? It makes sure that you have up to, you get your 100%, right? So over here, for instance, it shows you that it's summing all these together and you get a happiness score of 1. Or sorry, this is the weights right here. This is just the weights. So yes, 0.25 and 0.75. So yeah, you do want to make sure that your weights all add up to 100%. All right, now I'm going to skim through these again. I see Argentina right up here, right, and I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out what we can get as far as data for this one. All right, and so, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the snap. Anyway, all right, so I got the data that I could find, but you can see that actually I have quite a bit of missing data, right? So I went ahead and I highlighted these just in orange, but for instance, China, right? So the working hours per week, try as I might, I could not find China for the life of me. I went down and up this, I searched through it and all that sort of stuff. So apparently they just never have reported data in this subject, or they couldn't find anything that they felt was reputable, or I don't know. So in our next video, we're going to talk about how can we refine this data that we have right here, right? And then how can we deal with missing data? So again, kind of the second column right here is going to be refining, and again, refining, right? So how can we take these and refine these? And we talked about this a little bit in class. And then again, in my second video, I'm going to talk about how can we deal with this missing data. All right, so that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.